Okay, aside from maybe award season, the holidays truly are my favorite time of the year. And a big part of that has to do with the abundance of Christmas-themed movies that gets thrown upon us. And so today we're going to take a little deep dive into all things Christmas flicks. The good, the weird, and everything in between. But I think it's only fair that we start with the best of the bunch. So here now are Watch Mojo's best Christmas movies of all time.
God bless us, everyone.
Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 best Christmas movies of all time.
Merry Christmas.
How dare you enter the Grinch's lair!
For this list, we're looking at our favorite Christmas flicks, including holiday specials, but focusing on movies where Christmas plays a large role in the plot, which means we are excluding alternative Christmas movies like Die Hard, as awesome as it is. So, which Christmas movie gets you excited for the holidays?
Santa's coming to town.
Santa! Oh my God!
Number 20, Love Actually.
So if you really love Christmas, come on, let it snow.
Whether you love it or not, nobody can deny that this rom-com oozes Christmas spirit. While we all know the main storylines, it's the minor ones that really shine here. The aging rock star who professes his love for his manager, the actor stand-ins who adorably fall in love, the little kid who wants to impress his crush by playing drums and eventually runs through Heathrow Airport. No matter how many times we see it, every holiday season we remember why we actually love this movie. Number 19, Bad Santa.
I've seen some pretty shitty situations in my life, but nothing has ever sucked more ass than this.
Based on the premise alone, you can tell that Bad Santa isn't going to be a conventional holiday movie. Billy Bob Thornton stars as Willie T. Soak, an alcoholic who dresses up as a mall Santa in an elaborate scheme to rob department stores. His collaborator is Marcus, who plays one of Santa's elves. As dark and mean-spirited as this black comedy can be,
I said next, goddammit.
our main character does manage to find an eensy-weensy bit of good in himself and embrace the magic of the holidays. It's ultimately a tale of redemption, and in Willie's case, even the slightest good deed could be seen as a Christmas miracle.
Okay, make me some sandwiches. I gotta go to the mall and talk to somebody, and I'll be back.
For dinner?
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
Number 18, The Bishop's Wife.
There are too many people who don't know where they're going and they want to get there too fast.
If you haven't seen this classic Christmas movie, put it on your list this holiday season. The Bishop's Wife stars old Hollywood film stars David Niven, Cary Grant, and Loretta Young, telling the story of a bishop who asks for divine intervention in his quest to build a cathedral. Grant plays Dudley, an angel who comes to lead the bishop onto the right path. The story culminates on Christmas Eve, when all the characters have finally realized what is really important to them, and all is right with the world.
Let us ask ourselves what he would wish for most, and then let each put in his share.
Number 17, The Polar Express.
I believe.
Even if you didn't see this Robert Zemeckis film as a kid, it'll undoubtedly make you feel young at heart, especially when viewed during Christmas time. Based on a children's picture book of the same name, The Polar Express uses a unique 3D animation style that makes it feel almost real. The story is one rife with childhood nostalgia, following a boy who boards a train headed for the North Pole.
I've wanted to do that my whole life.
Just because this flick came out in the 21st century doesn't mean it doesn't have all the makings of a perennial holiday classic, though. If you believe, you know you'll still hear that bell ring, no matter how old you are.
Well, you coming?
Number 16, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Welcome to Halloween Town. All hail the Pumpkin King. From the mind of Tim Burton, this stop-motion animated film has developed a massive cult following, and its hero has become an emblem of misunderstood souls everywhere.
Jack, the Pumpkin King.
Nobody does Halloween quite like Jack Skellington. But he decides to try celebrating a new holiday upon stumbling upon Christmastown. What ensues is a holiday mashup of epic proportions, as the season to be jolly clashes with the season to be scary. The big question is, do you watch this movie at Halloween, at Christmas, or both? Number 15, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Dr. Seuss's classic holiday book, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, has been a perennial Christmas favorite and has been adapted for the screen several times.
Where are you, Christmas? Why can't I find you?
Jim Carrey's performance in the titular role, however, is what sets this version apart.
Mr. Grinch, I came to invite you to be Holiday Cheermeister.
Holiday Hoopy Whatty?
While we, of course, have a soft spot for the 1966 animated TV special, this adaptation is laugh-out-loud funny and features plenty of jokes that are clearly meant to entertain older audiences.
5:30, jazzercise. 6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. I'm booked.
Because it's a feature-length film, we also get expansions to Dr. Seuss's original tale that take the story in wacky directions that no one could have expected.
The presents, they'll be destroyed. And I care! What is the deal?
Number 14, The Santa Claus.
Name? Santa Claus. Name? Père Noël. Babbo Natale.
This story starring Tim Allen manages to ignite that spark of childhood wonder that we all once felt about the magic of Christmas.
Hey, you! What's that? Oh. Whoa,
When divorced dad Scott Calvin accidentally causes Santa to fall off his roof, he finds himself having to take St. Nick's place.
It's okay, I'm used to it. I lived through the 60s. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Watching Scott try to convince everyone around him that he's actually Santa is pretty hilarious.
Santa?
Scott Calvin.
It's a movie that's filled with fun and sentimental moments, taking viewers to the North Pole and back,
Who are you?
I'm Bernard. Nice to meet you, Santa.
as Scott rediscovers his belief in the unbelievable. While the film spawned 2 sequels, the original is definitely the best.
Merry Christmas to all.
To all, and good night!
Number 13, Scrooged.
3 ghosts.
3 ghosts, Frank. Expect the first one tomorrow at noon.
God, tomorrow's bad for me, Lou.
Charles Dickens' classic novella A Christmas Carol has been adapted countless times for both animated TV specials and serious feature films.
Call security, have them change his locks, clean out his desk, and toss him out of the building.
Oh, he's fired? But it's Christmas.
Thank you. Call accounting. Stop his bonus.
In this modern take on the story, however, Scrooge is actually a TV exec named Frank Cross, played by Bill Murray, who's trying to force his staffers to work over Christmas.
You don't like Christmas much, do you?
Like it. I love it. It's cold, and people stay home and watch television. Ad revenues go up 30%.
Just like in the original tale, the loathsome protagonist is visited by a series of ghosts who show him what the meaning of Christmas is all about.
Where are we? Where are we? You mean when are we?
This version is both poignant and funny, leaning heavily on Murray's comedic wit.
Clear the whole world. Whole world clear.
Number 12, The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Hello! Welcome to the Muppet Christmas Carol.
The Muppet version is a perfect adaptation for the younger set. The well-known tale of Ebenezer Scrooge, his employee Bob Cratchit, and Tiny Tim is modernized to feature Muppets in all the major roles, as well as a few welcome additions like Gonzo the Great playing Dickens himself, and Rizzo the Rat adding humorous commentary throughout.
Oh, is it too early for breakfast?
Yes.
Oh, good. Supper time.
Oh, and of course, there's Michael Caine as Scrooge. The songs are catchy, the story is time-honored, and the jokes never get old. The Muppet Christmas Carol will always be a favorite.
Humbug.
Number 11, Frosty the Snowman.
And when I start to melt, I get all wishy-washy.
Kids' Christmas specials aren't supposed to make you cry like a baby, are they?
What'll we call him? Yeah, shall we call him Harold?
Bruce?
No matter how many times we watch Frosty the Snowman, we'll never forget the horror of the first time we witnessed Frosty melting and fully believed he was done for. Luckily, this story always has a happy ending. While we're all familiar with the TV special by this point, did you know that it was actually based around the classic Christmas song by Walter E. Rollins and Steve Nelson?
Come on, Frosty. We're all waiting for you.
Happy birthday!
Romeo Muller, who worked on the stop-motion Rudolph, adapted the song into this special. Number 10. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
Frosty the Snowman isn't the only animated special by Rankin and Bass Productions that went on to achieve Christmas classic status. 5 years earlier, the 1964 stop-motion version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was broadcast on our TV screens.
Rudolph, I think you're cute.
The special won the hearts of many with its timeless tunes, inventive story, and unforgettable cast of characters. Featuring an elf who wants to be a dentist, a bouncing bumble, a helpful prospector, and of course, the eponymous red-nosed reindeer. No holiday season is complete without it.
Ready, Rudolph?
Ready, Santa!
Number 9. White Christmas.
Just like the ones I used to know.
Are you dreaming of a white Christmas? No matter where in the world you live, you can have one when watching this vintage holiday movie. The well-known holiday tune was previously performed by Bing Crosby in 1942's Holiday Inn, but was reprised in this 1954 film.
To hear sleigh bells in the snow.
Crosby also stars in White Christmas, which is set after World War II and tells the story of two entertainers who have to work together to save their commander's lodge. It's a heartwarming setup that's sure to bring out the Christmas spirit in all of us.
Counting your blessings.
Number 8. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la.
John Hughes wrote and produced this entry in the National Lampoon's Vacation franchise. The Griswold family is trying to celebrate Christmas, but of course, there's no way it's going to go smoothly. This is perfect viewing for those who want to feel as though at least someone's having a worse holiday season than you are.
This isn't the biggest bag over the head punch in the face I ever got. God damn it!
While Clark may not get the fun, old-fashioned family Christmas he was hoping for, it's a good reminder to temper your expectations and simply enjoy spending time with the people you love. Number 7. Elf.
Santa's coming to town.
Oh my God!
It's not often that a movie immediately becomes a holiday classic, but that's what happened when Elf hit theaters in 2003.
I told him his father had never even known that Buddy was born. And most importantly, I told him where his father was, in a magical land called New York City.
Will Ferrell had one of his most iconic performances in this movie about an orphan raised at the North Pole who decides to go meet his biological dad in the big city.
I'm here with my dad, and we never met, and he wants me to sing him a song. And I was adopted, but you didn't know I was born.
The fact that Ferrell is quite an imposing man only makes his elf costume all the more ridiculous.
First we'll make snow angels for 2 hours, and then we'll go ice skating, and then we'll eat a whole roll of Toll House cookie dough as fast as we can, and then, to finish, we'll snuggle.
It's absurd and hilarious, and will keep you laughing from beginning to end.
The clausometer suddenly just dropped down to 0. There's just no Christmas spirit anymore.
If you're lacking holiday cheer, Buddy the Elf will be sure to bring you some. Number 6. Home Alone.
He knows I ate sausage and olives and
Look what
onions
you did, you little jerk.
Home Alone is an annual must-watch for the antics of the Wet Bandits and their epic takedown by Kevin McAllister. Kevin learns the hard way that you should be careful what you wish for when he imagines a world where his family disappears.
I hope I never see any of you jerks again.
While there are a lot of unrealistic aspects to the story, Both Harry and Marv probably should have died several times over from the accidents that befall them. We can suspend our disbelief and enjoy the ride. This movie is full of unforgettable moments that will make you laugh, make you cringe, and make you wonder how a family could possibly leave one of their children behind and fly to Paris.
What else did you do while we were away?
Just hung around.
Number 5, Miracle on 34th Street.
You've got them mixed up. You're making a mistake.
A man named Kris Kringle finds himself taking over the position of Santa Claus at Macy's department store when he points out that the previous Santa is drunk on the job.
Could you be Santa Claus? Have you had any experience?
Oh, a little.
But Kris ends up being a little too genuine in his interactions with people, telling them the truth and even recommending they shop at other stores.
Well, the only important thing is to make the children happy. And whether Macy or somebody else sells a toy doesn't make any difference. Don't you feel that way?
Ultimately, he claims to be the real Santa Claus and leaves everyone in a tizzy.
What is your name?
Kris Kringle.
Where do you live?
That's what this hearing will decide.
This is a holiday classic that stands the test of time and reminds us that anything is possible when you believe in the magic of Christmas.
Your Honor, the state of New York concedes the existence of Santa Claus.
Number 4, A Christmas Carol.
A Merry Christmas to you, Uncle. God save you. Humbug.
Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol remains beloved because its message is perpetually relevant.
What right have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
What right have you to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Though it has been adapted many times, the 1938 film is a staple in many households around the holiday season and is considered by many to be the ultimate version of the tale.
Who are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
You already know the story, but if you haven't seen this retelling, it's time to give it a try.
I shall change my way of living. I will try to keep Christmas all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirit of all three shall be in my heart.
If you've already seen the 1938 adaptation countless times, give the 1951 version a try because it is also a favorite.
God bless us, everyone.
Number 3, A Charlie Brown Christmas.
Christmas time is here.
When it comes to annual Christmas specials, is there anyone you look forward to watching more than this? After viewing A Charlie Brown Christmas, you could never look at an artificial tree the same way again. You might even be more inclined to pick out the saddest one in the lot.
We'll decorate it and it'll be just right for our play.
This special has been airing since 1965, and there's a reason it's never gone out of style. It's so simple and yet so poignant, sincere, and touching. Are your dance moves ready for the school Christmas pageant? We hope so. Number 2, A Christmas Story.
Hey, Boris, how'd you like a snowball sandwich?
A Christmas Story is a holiday film that doesn't sugarcoat how difficult it is to feel like an outsider in your own family.
Ralphie, what did Aunt Clary give you? Show everybody.
It is always playing on repeat on cable, so you'll be sure to catch a glimpse of it whether you want to or not.
There it is. The holy grail of Christmas gifts, the Red Ryder 200-shot range model air rifle.
Ralphie desperately wants an air rifle for Christmas, but his mother won't allow him to have one because, as she famously says,
No. Shoot your eye out.
along with Ralphie's main story, we see vignettes featuring his family and other characters, making this a well-rounded movie that's extremely rewatchable.
Now you get yours.
We've seen dramas, comedies, stop motion, cartoons. So, which Christmas movie beats all the others? Well, we have some honorable mentions to get through, and then we will get to our life-affirming number 1 pick for best Christmas movie of all time. Jingle All the Way.
Oh, these cookies! I gotta get the recipe from Les. Put that cookie down now!
Arthur Christmas.
A child's been missed! Do you want to wake up the whole North Pole?
Good idea.
A child's been missed!
A Christmas Tale, also known as Un Conte de Noël.
On va doucement.
Je peux pas. Tout à Noël sobre.
The Holiday.
Iris lives next door to Arthur. He's a doodly-doo.
The Apartment.
Did you hear what I said, Miss Kubelik? I absolutely adore you.
Shut up and deal.
Number 1, It's a Wonderful Life.
Hey, this is my dance.
Oh, why don't you stop annoying people?
Well, I'm sorry. Hey!
Could we have picked anything else for our number 1 spot? There's a reason why It's a Wonderful Life is considered the essential Christmas movie.
George is a good guy. Give him a break, God.
It has a pretty dark beginning, but its magical realism teaches us a valuable lesson about the importance of a single life.
Please help me, Mr. Potter. Help me, won't you, please? Can't you see what it means to my family? I'll pay any sort of a bonus on the loan, any interest.
By seeing how the world would have looked if George Bailey had never been in it, he realizes the impact he's had on those around him.
Bert! What do you know about that? Merry Christmas!
It's sentimental, it's uplifting, and it isn't Christmas without watching it.
To my big brother George, the richest man in town.
Like other genres of cinema, Christmas-themed movies have seen their share of, shall we say, strange outputs. Yep, our next list will highlight the many odd directions filmmakers have taken the old holiday theme. Well, you'll see.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 strangest Christmas movies.
We have an operation to carry out. You guys with me?
Yeah! For this list, we'll be looking at the weirdest holiday-themed movies to watch during the winter season.
That was truly awful.
Thank you. What do you think of these strange movies? Are there any we missed? 'Tis the season to be weird. Here we go. Number 10, Anna and the Apocalypse.
Christmas is fast becoming my least favorite C word.
When you think of Christmas movies, you typically think of snowy, wholesome family content. So you might mix it up a little into a Christmas comedy. But how about a Christmas horror teen drama musical? Anna and the Apocalypse sees Christmas get crashed by zombies in a quiet Scotland town. While a group of teenagers tries to survive this world-ending holiday season, we get to experience gruesome gore, banging musical numbers, and some hilarious comedy.
Oh, right, because that's perfectly normal.
So if you want the cheesy Christmas aesthetic with a bit of blood involved, sneak this one onto the TV, preferably before dinner. Number 9, A Karate Christmas Miracle.
Everybody to think Christmas. Because I have something for you little critters.
When you hear the title of this film, you might think Karate Kid meets Christmas. While both of those elements are involved, this film is so unfathomable, you'll be screaming, "Where did that come from?"
Tell your mother.
Then you must remain silent until Christmas Day. That's the day you earn your black belt.
10-year-old Jesse Genesis is convinced that if he becomes a karate black belt, his father, who passed away during a horrific attack, will return on Christmas Day. And let us not forget the psychic-turned-law professor.
I saw a whole lot. More than I wanted to say, believe me.
Plus the untactful treatment of horrible tragedies that make this film not even funny to watch at points. So why couldn't it have been a karate tournament at Christmas?
I did it. I escaped.
Well, okay. Guess I was on target.
Number 8, Santa with Muscles.
They can't start Christmas without me. Can they?
Having famous wrestlers in hilarious holiday-related scenarios is kind of a trend in Hollywood. Let us not forget when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was the Tooth Fairy.
What is this? How disappointing.
But if you think that's weird, you have yet to see Santa with Muscles. Hulk Hogan plays an evil millionaire who becomes Santa Claus after suffering head trauma.
Another drunk mall Santa.
He then has to compete with another evil millionaire and his gang of misfit henchmen, stopping him from stealing glowing crystals in the catacombs beneath an orphanage. It's one insane moment after another in this film, making it an undeniably outlandish Christmas movie.
Santa Claus. What a bonehead.
Number 7. Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever.
Okay, I don't know what's happening here, but I don't like it.
Films with talking animals are cute, but just like Hercules Saves Christmas, there are plenty of examples that these types of movies are hard to pull off.
It's Hercules.
Hercules is a dog?
A very special dog.
I'm gonna need a clearer explanation at some point.
With Grumpy Cat's internet memedom taking off, it makes sense Lifetime would want to capitalize off that hype with a film. Aubrey Plaza provides the voice of the signature feline as she teams up with a young girl to stop some burglars from stealing an expensive dog and tries to save Christmas.
Time to finish what we started.
The film is bizarre throughout, but if you like Plaza's deadpan comedy style mixed with some slapstick moments, it might just be abnormal enough to keep you hooked.
Some are born great, others achieve greatness, and some watch Christmas movies starring cats. I think you know who you are.
Number 6. Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale.
It's Christmas time, so let's act like it.
Having a dark or horror-themed holiday flick is nothing new. Any film that tries to jump into that niche has to compete with cult classics like Silent Night, Deadly Night.
There is no Santa Claus.
Naughty. But Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale, is unique enough to be in a league of its own.
We have Santa Claus.
While on an archaeological dig, the digging crew unearths Santa Claus, but he isn't as lovely and jolly as the tales portray him to be. In a fiendishly witty and entertaining film, the town must band together to defend themselves against Father Christmas's monstrous elves. While it might be based around the holiday, you won't be watching this movie to get cozy by the fire on Christmas Eve. Number 5. The Magic Christmas Tree.
Okay, little tree. Looks like you're one of the family.
Who knew a bonk on the head could give you hallucinations this weird? Young Mark knocks himself out after trying to save a cat from a tree. But when he wakes, he encounters a witch, a magic seed, a kidnapped Santa Claus, and a Christmas tree that can grant him 3 wishes.
Rimbum, Harry Noon, Poe, cheese, Dodge, wow!
Oh, I do look rather handsome, don't I, boy?
Even though it was all a strange fever dream, this entire film feels like one with progressively weird turns that will leave you scratching your head.
You had quite a fall out of that old tree, but you're coming around just fine.
While it might have been made for kids, this film sports enough randomness that it could still be funny for older audiences.
Hey, it's light again!
That's what you wanted, wasn't it? And now go out and have yourself some fun.
Number 4. Elves.
The elf mates with the virgin on Christmas Eve to produce the master race.
Anti-Christmas films can get a bit off the rails sometimes, but this film will make you question your sanity. The plot of this frighteningly baffling film insinuates that a certain German chancellor from World War II was trying to create human-elf hybrids.
When there is no more room in hell, the elves will walk the earth.
Some extremist pure-blood elves are back to finish what he started by abducting and copulating with one of the human characters. If that sounds downright mad, wait till you watch it.
My God, I can't believe what I'm hearing.
With absurd dialogue, ugly visuals, and ridiculous death scenes, Elves will undoubtedly leave an impression on you this winter. It just might not be a particularly good one.
Look, it's all over now. I'll call an exterminator to lay out some traps in the morning.
Number 3. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Earth has had Santa Claus long enough. We will bring him to Mars.
Santa Claus taking on aliens? Now, that's a film we'd want to see. But unfortunately, this sci-fi comedy from 1964 fails to deliver. A group of aliens wants to recreate the Christmas experience with their children, so they kidnap Santa Claus.
Take him. Obey my command.
Forget it, Kima. Rigna was right. He's nothing but a toy now.
While that synopsis might sound somewhat coherent, the film isn't. Some critics tout it as one of those so bad it's good films, but that element of it runs out real fast.
Oh, Mrs. Claus is going to be very angry about this.
The title is also incorrect because Santa Claus doesn't even fight the Martians. Instead, he spreads some Christmas cheer and helps install the Martians' version of Santa Claus.
Ho, 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 everybody! Merry Christmas!
An interesting concept is ultimately a weird and disappointing mess. Still, its strange value is off the Christmas charts.
Well, do you think you'll be ready by Christmas Eve?
Well, we've never disappointed the kids yet.
Number 2, Santa Claus, aka Santa Claus versus the Devil.
Don't forget that you've got to return to the castle ahead of the sunrise because the sun will turn the reindeer into dust.
It turns out everything we know about Jolly St. Nick was all wrong. In this inexplicable world, Santa lives in a castle in space with children helpers instead of elves, robotic reindeer, and Merlin the Wizard.
Oh, what a dummy I am. I forgot the urn. And without the urn, I can't mix the ingredients, can I?
No, you can't.
The devil from down under sends a demon named Pitch to Earth to wreak havoc and try to off our dear Kris Kringle.
Go up then, and show the world who is its real master.
So be it, Lucifer.
The Mexican film received a limited dub U.S. release in 1960, and now it sits in the public domain. But really, the only thing this film is good for is making you question what was in your drink. Number 1, Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny.
Hey, Santa, what are you doing here?
This is the first time in hundreds of years that I got stuck. My sleigh came right down here in the sand. Kerplunk, we hit hard.
You better take a seat because this film is a real roller coaster. After Santa Claus gets stranded in Florida, he encounters many weird and wacky phenomena. Santa summons some children to read them a story, which leads to a film within a film. Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn comment from afar.
Hey, Huck, where are all those kids going? I don't know, Tom. Let's go find out.
Leading to the Ice Cream Bunny appearing to bring Father Christmas back to the North Pole. Don't worry, it's normal to be confused as to what's happening.
Oh, Jack, how could you? How could you be so stupid?
All these elements make the film baffling to watch, making it one of the strangest Christmas movies to ever exist.
What do we do? Oh, nothing is working.
Okay, for the most part, Christmas movies are manufactured to make us feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And that jolly sensation, it's often embraced through what else but song. Which brings us to the top musical moments in Christmas movies. So good luck trying not to sing along to these entries.
A song? I think I've got one up my sleeve.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 musical moments in Christmas movies.
Now, ladies, let's get this party started.
For this list, we're looking at memorable musical interludes from our favorite Christmas classics, whether funny, nostalgic, or just plain heartwarming. We won't be including Christmas songs from non-Christmas movies like Jingle Bell Rock from Mean Girls. Is your favorite on this list? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, Jump for My Love, Love Actually. Richard Curtis's Christmas film is all about the iconic moments. From the devastating scene where Emma Thompson discovers her husband's infidelity to Andrew Lincoln's romantic, if slightly creepy, declaration of love. We might not remember any of the characters' names, but we remember how they made us feel. There's no shortage of musical moments either. We get All I Want for Christmas Is You for the big finale. There's also Bill Nye's irreverent Christmases All Around, and even a bit of carol singing.
When the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even.
But the first scene that springs to mind is surely Hugh Grant's Prime Minister, dancing through the halls of Downing Street to Jump for My Love. You just can't unsee it. Number 9, Hot Chocolate, The Polar Express.
Your attention, please. Are there any Polar Express passengers in need of refreshment? I thought so.
Based on a picture book by Chris Van Allsburg, this early 2000s fantasy film is notable for its use of motion capture animation. While that aspect of the film may not have held up perfectly, this still gives us a festive sugar rush that feels evergreen. This sequence features the most well-choreographed beverage service we've ever seen, courtesy of the Polar Express staff. With its jazzy rhythms and infectious refrain, Hot Chocolate is definitely an earworm. Reminiscent of old Hollywood movie dance sequences, the dancing waiters appear from nowhere and are gone just as fast, leaving us a little disoriented and craving a hot chocolate of our own. Number 8. You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel.
First appearing in the classic picture book by Dr. Seuss, the green meanie with the heart 2 sizes too small has earned his place in the canon of classic Christmas fare. Jim Carrey made the role his own back in 2000, and Benedict Cumberbatch voiced the most recent incarnation in 2018. But the 1966 cartoon is probably the most beloved version.
You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch.
It's also notable for the original song, You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. With memorable lyrics written by Dr. Seuss himself, such as You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel, it's a lot of fun, if a surprising addition to the Christmas song tradition.
I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole.
Number 7. What's this? The Nightmare Before Christmas. We could debate endlessly over whether this stop-motion Tim Burton animation is a Christmas movie or better watched at Halloween. But when Jack Skellington, the mayor of Halloween Town, gets his first glimpse of Christmas, you cannot help but feel festive.
What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air.
Disney originally felt, perhaps understandably, that this dark fantasy plot involving singing skeletons and a Santa napping masterminded by the boogeyman would be too scary for kids. However, the warmth in the bones of the story won audiences over.
Why, that looks so unique. Inspired! The gathering around here is story roasting chestnuts on a fire. What's this?
The film became a critical and commercial success. After all, there are plenty of heartwarming moments to counteract the darkness, and Jack's joyful "What's this?" is definitely one of them.
I simply cannot get enough. I want it, oh I want it, oh I want it for my own. I've got to know what is this place that I have found. What is this?
Number 6. A Holly Jolly Christmas. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Originally written by Johnny Marks in 1962, this song became a breakout hit when Burl Ives sang it in the Christmas television special Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Have a holly jolly Christmas, it's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer.
This catchy jingle has since been covered multiple times by artists like Michael Bublé and Dolly Parton, and has featured on many a Christmas compilation album. The film itself, a stop-motion animation about Rudolph and his friends, remains a nostalgic holiday favorite.
Ho, ho, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, kiss her once for me.
It has also become a staple of the season. Since its original release in 1964, it's been broadcast every year across the US, and can now boast of being the longest ever continuously running Christmas special.
Oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year.
Number 5. It Feels Like Christmas. The Muppet Christmas Carol. Based on the classic Charles Dickens novella, and sticking surprisingly close to the original, The Muppets Christmas Carol brings good tidings and cheer from start to finish.
What a childhood will always remember. It is the summer of the soul in December.
Michael Caine gives the performance of his career as Scrooge, while Kermit and Company bring all the humor and heart we expect to their various roles. The music by Miles Goodman and Paul Williams gives us no end of great numbers to pick from, but it feels like Christmas really ups the ante with its festive spirit.
It's in the singing of a street corner choir. It's going home and getting warm by the fire. It's true wherever you find love, it feels like Christmas.
Sung by Christmas Present at the film's midpoint, the song speaks to the compassion at the core of the season. It would warm the heart of even the Scroogiest of Scrooges.
It feels like Christmas. It feels like Christmas.
Number 4. Baby It's Cold Outside, Elf. This festive duet first appeared in the 1949 movie Neptune's Daughter, and despite some controversial lyrics, it remains a holiday favorite. One of the most memorable renditions is featured in Elf.
My mother will start to worry, and father will be pacing the floor. So really I'd better scurry.
Zooey Deschanel's seasonal store assistant is singing in the shower at work when co-worker Buddy, a real-life North Pole elf, overhears and chimes in with the other half of the duet. It works because Will Ferrell's Buddy is so adorably clueless, but also they actually harmonize great together.
Baby, it's cold outside.
The film's finale, where Santa's sleigh is repowered by a stirring chorus of Santa Claus is Coming to Town, is great too. But it's that earlier scene that first springs to mind as a prime musical moment.
I think you have the most beautiful singing voice in the whole wide world.
Number 3. White Christmas, White Christmas. Written by Irving Berlin for the movie Holiday Inn and sung by Bing Crosby, White Christmas won an Academy Award for Best Original Song in 1943.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know.
It became an established favorite throughout the war years, with its wistful lyrics that celebrate comforting memories of home. Crosby reprised the song in the 1954 musical, also named White Christmas, which became the highest-grossing film of the year and is now celebrated as a holiday classic.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write.
Aside from the title track, it features excellent Irving Berlin songs throughout, including the lighthearted quartet Snow. White Christmas, the story about two veterans turned performers putting on a show for their old general, is perfect festive viewing, and the song is a holiday essential.
And may all your Christmases be white.
Number 2. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, Meet Me in St. Louis. Meet Me in St. Louis actually follows a whole year in the life of the Smith family. However, it is widely considered to be a Christmas film, if only for that one iconic scene where Judy Garland sings Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay.
At the end of the movie, Margaret O'Brien's character Tootie is upset at the thought of having to leave her beautiful home. Big sister Esther sings this melancholy Christmas favorite to comfort her.
Faithful friends who were dear to us will be near to us once more.
It's a very simple scene, but the performances, both Judy Garland's vocals and the little girl's heartbroken expression, make it unforgettable.
So yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Last Christmas. Last Christmas. Emilia Clarke shows off her musical chops in this British Christmas rom-com.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away.
Put a Little Love in Your Heart. Scrooged. A rousing chorus for Bill Murray's Scrooge as he has his heart melted. Santa Claus is back in town. The Christmas Chronicles. Kurt Russell is a new contender for Best Santa ever in this modern classic.
Got no sleigh with reindeer, no sack on my back. You gonna see me coming in a big black Cadillac.
Walking in the Air. The Snowman. The quintessential scene from the beloved 80s animation.
We're walking in the air. We're floating in the moonlit sky.
Do They Know It's Christmas? Daddy's Home Too. The iconic Band-Aid hit as sung by an unlikely foursome.
Do they know it's Christmas time at all?
Number 1. Hark the Herald Angels Sing and Auld Lang Syne. It's a Wonderful Life. You can call it sentimental, but Frank Capra's holiday classic stands the test of time and is so much more than its oft-parodied final act.
George, you have no idea what's happened to me.
In a case of reverse Christmas Carol, James Stewart is George Bailey, a good man at the end of his tether when the angel shows him what the world would be like had he never been born. After spending his life putting other people first, George's friends and neighbors finally come through, showing us that no man is a failure who has friends. When they burst into a chorus of Hark the Herald Angels Sing, followed by Auld Lang Syne, it's hard not to get swept up in all that Christmas spirit.
If you're anything like me, then it's not uncommon to slip in some quotes from your favorite movies into everyday conversation. They're just kind of ingrained in your brain. And Christmas movies, well, trust me, they've got some iconic quotes. Check them out.
If you ever lose sight of Christmas, it can always be found in a few simple words. Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 iconic Christmas movie quotes.
There's no singing in the North Pole.
Yes, there is.
No, it's not.
We sing all the time.
No, it's not.
Especially when we make toys.
For this list, we're taking a look at lines from holiday films as well as a couple of TV specials that best encapsulate what Christmas is all about.
Ralphie, you be careful out there. Don't shoot your eye out.
She hadn't seen. She didn't know.
Number 10. Clark, That's the Gift That Keeps on Giving. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Clark Griswold's Christmas isn't exactly going as he hoped, but his annual bonus is sure to compensate for all the holiday drama. Instead of a check, however, Clark receives a subscription to the Jelly of the Month Club.
It's a 1-year membership in the Jelly of the Month Club.
Clark is clearly on the verge of cracking, but before he loses his cool, Cousin Eddie chimes in with something that only he would say during such a tense moment.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
Eddie may not be the first person to use this phrase, but never has it been more hilariously timed. Instead of finding the silver lining, Eddie only further fuels the freak-out Clark is about to unleash. No matter how many times we rewatch it, this is the scene that keeps on giving.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Number 9. It's Christmas Eve. Scrooged. If you're going to tell a modern version of A Christmas Carol with a comedic edge, who better than Bill Murray to play the ultimate humbug?
Expect the first one tomorrow at noon.
God, tomorrow's bad for me, Lou. As a matter of fact, the whole rest of the week is a washout. Ouch.
In true Charles Dickens fashion, the Scrooge-like Frank Cross learns the value of Christmas and humanity by the third act. In a passionate monologue, Cross discusses the miracle that's Christmas and how it inspires us all to be the best versions of ourselves.
It's Christmas Eve. It's the one night of the year when we all act a little nicer. We smile a little easier. We we share a little more?
Cross also reminds viewers that this generosity doesn't need to be restricted to one time of the year, and that we should all strive to be kinder every day.
If you waste that miracle, you're gonna burn for it. I know what I'm talking about.
The speech strikes just the right balance of sincerity and Murray's signature wit, sounding as if it's surging out of a heart that's grown 3 sizes.
It's great. It's a good feeling. It's really better than I felt in a long time.
Number 8. You'll Shoot Your Eye Out, A Christmas Story. Young Ralphie only wants one thing for Christmas, a Red Ryder BB gun.
I want an official Red Ryder Carbine Action 2-inch range-ball air rifle.
Alas, everywhere he turns, Ralphie gets the same response. It makes sense that his mother and teacher would have qualms about a BB gun, but the funniest usage of this line comes at a department store where even a sleazy mall Santa tells Ralphie that he'll shoot his eye out.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
The reason that this quote resonates with so many is because we can all identify with Ralphie's disappointment.
Ho, ho, ho.
At some point during our youth, we were all told that a certain present was either too expensive, too rare, or in Ralphie's case, too dangerous. Of course, Ralphie actually gets his BB gun without losing an eye, although he does lose his glasses.
Oh my God, I shot my eye out.
Number 7. Seeing is Believing, The Polar Express. Christmas is a spiritual time for many of us, but it's also a time of year when some people begin to question their faith. For one young boy who hops aboard the Polar Express, his belief in Santa has begun to dwindle. At the start of his Christmas Eve journey, the boy lives by the philosophy that seeing is believing, which is only enforced by a creepy hobo who lives on the train.
Seeing is believing. Am I right?
The train's conductor offers another perspective, however, suggesting that sometimes the most real things in the world are the things we can't see.
Sometimes the most real things in the world are the things we can't see.
It's an inspiring line that not only speaks to children questioning Santa's existence, but also anyone who's ever contemplated the existence of a higher power and the unknown.
One thing about trains, it doesn't matter where they're going. What matters is deciding to get on.
Number 6. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Upon depriving Whoville of its presents and decorations, the Grinch is convinced that he silenced the noisy nuisance that is Christmas for good. To his astonishment and confusion, though, the Whos still spend Christmas morning singing, with or without gifts.
It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags.
In this moment, it finally occurs to the Grinch that Christmas doesn't come from the store. It's something much more meaningful that can never be taken away. If there's one thing Dr. Seuss was a master at, it was finding great wisdom in simplicity.
Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
That sums up this quote in a nutshell, which is both profound and easy enough for all ages to comprehend. If this line doesn't overflow your heart with warmth, you're even Grinchier than the Grinch himself.
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Number 5. Christmas isn't just a day, it's a frame of mind. Miracle on 34th Street. You might not believe in Santa sitting down to watch this Christmas classic. Whenever actor Edmund Gwenn is on screen, however, you'll believe that there is a Santa. Gwenn not only nails Santa's holly jolly nature, but also the pride and insight that come with the job. Nowhere is this better exemplified than when Mr. Kringle explains to Doris that Christmas isn't just a moment a year.
Christmas is still Christmas.
Oh, Christmas isn't just a day. It's a frame of mind.
Sometimes people get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of the holiday that they forget Christmas isn't about commercialism. It's about spreading cheer, lending a helping hand, and believing in miracles. If only more people share this mentality, the spirit of Christmas could last year-round with no shortage of goodwill to go around.
Do you believe in Santa Claus, Tommy?
Sure I do.
Number 4. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. In the first Home Alone, Kevin is scarred for life after watching Angels with Filthy Souls, yet he still decides to pop in the sequel on his New York vacation. Angels with Even Filthier Souls has more of a Christmas theme to it, but that doesn't mean it skimps on the gunfire or Johnny's snarky remarks.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal isn't exactly a line you'd find on a Hallmark card. For those with a cynical sense of humor, though, this has become a popular line to break out during the holidays. Even Kevin can't help mimicking it as he gives the hotel staff the slip.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Whether meant to be taken as an insult or as an in-joke, we always grin whenever this line is repeated. Number 3. The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. Elf. If you're feeling down during the holidays, there are 2 things that will immediately make you feel better: listening to Christmas music and watching Elf.
Uh-oh. Sounds like someone needs to sing a Christmas carol.
Buddy is full of so much Christmas cheer that it can't be contained.
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town. Santa! Oh my God!
He just wants to share that cheer with the rest of the world, believing the best way to do so is through song.
Best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear.
The skeptical Jovi doesn't see eye to eye with Buddy, especially after he actually starts singing in a store.
I'm singing! I'm in a store and I'm singing!
Slowly but surely, Buddy's Christmas cheer begins to rub off on Jovi, motivating her to sing an uplifting song during the film's climax.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why.
The tune spreads through the crowd like wildfire, demonstrating that music and Yuletide joy are truly cut from the same cloth.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Number 2. God Bless Us, Everyone, A Christmas Carol. Whether it's a modernized interpretation or a word-for-word adaptation of Charles Dickens' classic novella, there are a couple of lines you can expect to hear in almost any version of A Christmas Carol.
God bless us, everyone.
The most powerful line comes from Tiny Tim, who walks with a crutch, has little money, and may not have much time left on Earth. Nevertheless, he feels truly blessed sitting down to a small Christmas dinner with his family. During the holidays, it's easy to stress about the things we don't have. If Tiny Tim's optimism teaches us anything, though, it's that we should all be grateful for what we do have.
God bless us, everyone.
Who knows? Maybe that hope and kindness will reach someone else, influencing them to change their outlook on life.
God bless us, everyone.
Son of a nutcracker, every quote in Elf is iconic. Let's take a look at some other famous lines that get you in the holiday spirit before we look at the ultimate quote.
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? Put that down. Hello?
It's my favorite time of day. Driving you.
Part mais triste do meu dia é deixá-lo.
Eat. I'm busy, Mama. It's almost Christmas.
Who ever heard of a skinny Santa? Eat.
Oh, these cookies! I gotta get the recipe from Les. Put that cookie down! Now!
I made my family disappear.
Number 1. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. It's a Wonderful Life. After contemplating whether or not the world would be better off without him, George Bailey comes to realize that he really had a wonderful life, and it's not too late to make the most of it.
Get me back! I don't care what happens to me! Get me back to my wife and kids!
George never would have learned this valuable lesson without guardian angel Clarence, who's one good deed away from getting his wings. Returning to his family, George is surrounded by all the people he's helped over the years, who are ready to return the favor. As a bell rings, George's youngest daughter says that an angel has just gotten his wings.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
While Clarence isn't present, we imagine he's looking down on the Baileys and smiling. We guarantee you'll also be smiling as this Christmas classic closes out on this heartwarming note.
Some of my personal favorite Christmas movies are comedies. And while most holiday flicks lend themselves to be more family-friendly, let's just say there is plenty of naughty humor out there. Yeah, these next jokes are just for the adult crowd.
Who told you you can eat my cookies? I'm just helping Liz out a little in the kitchen. She's making up a storm here. Ted, I need to speak to my wife. So could you get her on the phone, please?
I think she's in the shower, Howard. Do you want me to go check?
No!
Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to Ms. Mojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 adult jokes in Christmas movies.
Why did you do that?
Sometimes you have to slap them in the face just to get their attention.
Here's Neil's mom's number in case.
1-800-SPANK-ME. I know that number.
Where do you think you're going? Nobody's leaving. Nobody's walking out on this fun old-fashioned family Christmas. No, we're all in this together.
For this list, we're looking at the funniest gags from holiday flicks that went over the kiddies' heads. And since we're unwrapping these comedic gifts early this year, consider this your spoiler alert. So, which Yuletide yucks fill you with delight? Number 10, Cash Bar, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Like many of us, the green guy uses alcohol to manage social anxiety, especially when it is the season.
Excuse me, old-timer. Mind if I wet my whistle?
When we learn why he hates Christmas and almost everyone in Whoville, it's something a lot of adults can probably relate to: childhood trauma.
Stupid cribbing! Stupid drink! I hate Christmas!
Publicly humiliated as a kid, the Grumpus must face his demons because one young girl believes in him. As he debates whether to go to the party and accept the title of Holiday Cheermeister, the Grinch shows his greatest fear is there being no open bar.
All right. I'll swing by for a minute, allow them to envy me, grab a handful of popcorn shrimp, and blow out of there. But what if it's a cruel prank? What if it's a cash bar? How dare they?
While many folks 21 and over probably feel him, it doesn't really land with youngsters like Cindy Lou Who. This one-liner's laugh factor comes from a place of pain and insecurity, like much humor does. Number 9, The Pool Fantasy, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Clark Griswold just wants to give his family the perfect Christmas together. While his attempts at lumberjacking, electrical engineering, and luging all go comically awry, this suburban dad holds an ace in his bathrobe sleeve. The surprise is a pool to be installed at the Chateau de Griswold.
Just hope my Christmas bonus check will cover it.
Oh my God, you're putting in a pool.
That is, until his boss replaces Clark's bonus with fruit preserves.
It's a 1-year membership in the Jelly of the Month Club.
Oh, God.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
With the family squabbling and his bumpkin cousin's clan squatting in the driveway, all holiday hope seems lost. After everyone falls asleep, Papa Griswold stares out an icy window, dreaming about what might have been. The domestic pool party quickly morphs into a striptease fantasy about a breathtaking lingerie countergirl. However, it's interrupted just before his dream lady bears it all.
Santa Claus! Uncle Clark, are you Santa Claus?
What? Number 8, Mom's Petting Ted, Jingle All the Way. When Howard Langston forgets to buy his son the year's hottest Christmas toy, he must do whatever he can to get one before it's too late.
I want the Turbo Man action figure with the arms and legs that move, and the boomerang suitor, and the rock and roll jetpack, and the realistic voice activator that says 5 different phrases, including, "It's Turbo Time!"
Unfortunately, it's sold out almost everywhere, sending Howard on a desperate quest to prove himself as a father and husband, while his skeezy neighbor Ted tries to seduce his wife.
I'm just helping Liz out a little in the kitchen. She's making up a storm here. Ted, I need to speak to my wife. So could you get her on the phone, please?
I think she's in the shower, Howard. Do you want me to go check?
No!
After facing off against a deranged mailman, battling an army of Santas, and narrowly escaping arrest, an empty-handed Howard calls home. His son picks up, and Howard asks to speak with the missus. The kid tells him she's petting Ted, horrifying Howard until he realizes Ted is a reindeer and not his neighbor.
Let me talk to your mother.
You can't.
Why not?
She's next door petting Ted.
She's what?
Arnold Schwarzenegger's facial expressions really sell the gag, making it a truly memorable miscommunication. Number 7, Buzz's Magazine, Home Alone. After 8-year-old Kevin McAllister realizes his family is gone, he isn't exactly broken up about it.
I made my family disappear.
In fact, the kid starts doing everything he always wanted to but couldn't because of those darn adults. This includes digging into his big brother's private things. Kevin seems not only totally disinterested in Buzz's Playboy, but actually a little disgusted by all the nudity.
No clothes on anybody. Sickening.
Now, his brother's fireworks, that's a different matter. The July 1989 issue is the genuine article, and you can even just make out the cover, which features former TV newscaster Shelley Jameson. It's the exact kind of simple sight gag that continues to make families laugh together during the holidays, even if they may be chuckling for different reasons. Number 6. Kinky Christmas Spirit, Scrooged. A 1980s remix of the Charles Dickens Christmas classic, this movie pulls no punches.
Call security, have them change his locks, clean out his desk, and toss him out of the building.
Oh, he's fired? But it's Christmas.
Thank you. Call accounting, stop his bonus.
And yes, we do mean literally. Bill Murray plays Frank Cross, a ruthless TV exec haunted by a series of specters. The third and penultimate spirit, the ghost of Christmas Present, is a fairy godmother type with sadomasochistic tendencies. The way this crotch-kicking Glenda delights in dishing out and receiving punishment creates slapstick thrills for everyone, and sideways grins for grown-ups.
Why did you do that?
Sometimes you have to slap them in the face just to get their attention.
However, neither Murray nor his torturer, Carol Kane, delighted in the violent stunts. Murray was really injured when Kane pulled his lip too hard, and Kane was apparently brought to tears over some of the hits she dished out.
Why? Slap me in the face. But you kicked me in the mouth.
Frank, it's time to begin our journey.
But like the winged witch herself says, sometimes the truth hurts. Number 5. Two-Faced Politician, The Nightmare Before Christmas. As the Pumpkin King of Halloween Town, Jack Skellington deals with a lot of creepy characters. Of the many werewolves, vampires, and other monsters he crosses paths with, the most deceptive is the politician.
I've got the plans for next Halloween. I need to go over them with you so we can get started. Jack, please, I'm only an elected official here. I can't make decisions by myself.
The mayor of Halloween Town alternates between two faces, one smiling and another with a sharply toothed grimace.
We've got to find Jack! There's only 365 days left till next Halloween!
Most kids probably missed the joke about this elected official being the physical embodiment of our democratic system's failures.
I felt it in my gut. Terrible news, folks! The worst tragedy of our time!
The deceptions of those in power is as big an issue today as it was in the early 90s, but kids will always be kids. This dark yet beautiful fantasy endures because it works on so many levels. There's gorgeous stop-motion animation, a creative story, and plenty of dark humor. Number 4. Foot Size, Frozen. Princess Elsa can control ice with her thoughts, but that doesn't mean she's got it easy. First, she nearly freezes her little sister Anna, resulting in the two being kept apart. Next, her parents die, forcing Elsa to become queen. At the coronation, Anna hooks up with a jerky prince that she just met, and Elsa's powers are revealed.
No, why? Why do you shut me out? Why do you shut the world out? What are you so afraid of? I said enough!
Elsa flees, and her sister goes after her with the help of Kristoff. When he points out that Anna doesn't even know her beau's shoe size, mature audience members know exactly what he means.
But Hans is not a stranger.
Oh yeah? What's his last name?
Of the Southern Isles.
What's his favorite food?
Sandwiches.
Best friend's name?
Probably John.
Eye color.
Dreamy.
Foot size?
Foot size doesn't matter.
The quip gives non-youths something to chuckle at, which almost makes up for the endless hours of their kids singing Let It Go.
Let it go, let it go, when I rise like the break of dawn.
Number 3. I get more action in a week. Elf. An orphan stows away in Santa's sack, growing up at the North Pole believing he's an elf.
Treat every day like Christmas.
Number 2.
There's room for everyone on the nice list.
Number 3.
The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear.
Of course, the gigantic but dim-witted Buddy eventually figures it out. Determined to save his birth father from the naughty list, Buddy heads to New York City.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Thanks, Mr. Narwhal.
His first overtures to this none the wiser dad don't go over so well, but eventually his pops takes him in. Problems arise when Buddy mistakes author Miles Finch for one of Santa's elves.
I didn't know you had elves working here.
Boy, you're hilarious, my friend.
The character, played perfectly by Peter Dinklage, responds to the perceived slight with a brag about the disproportionate nature of his and Buddy's sex lives.
Does Santa know that you left the workshop?
You know, we're all laughing our heads off.
Did you have to borrow a reindeer to get down here?
Buddy, go back to the basement. Hey, Jackweed, I get more action in a week than you've had your entire life.
An ensuing brawl elicits chuckles from people of all ages.
Look at you! Ow!
Number 2, Who's Swinging? How the Grinch Stole Christmas. While the Who's down in Whoville may seem wholesome, it turns out the town has a seedier side. Many winks in this aforementioned live-action adaptation of Dr. Seuss's classic allude to various villagers' amorous antics.
Come on, touch it. Touch the door. Do it for me, Stu.
Since this film is ostensibly PG, director Ron Howard does have to play a little coy. He tells us babies magically float down from the sky on the one hand, and on the other throws out a quick cuckold quip.
Hey, honey! Our baby's here! He looks just like your boss.
More lurid still is the raucous key party held annually by the Grinch's adoptive moms. It's all fun and games between consenting adults until someone gets hurt. In this case, a newborn Grinch getting stuck in the snow overnight.
I didn't get the majority of these when I was a kid, but isn't that the greatest feeling when you finally understand an adult joke after watching the movie for years and years? Anyway, we have some honorable mentions to get through, and then we will name our top adult joke in a Christmas movie.
Chewie's dad receives a racy gift. Star Wars Holiday Special. Naughty Saint Nick causes trouble again. Bad Santa.
Jesus Christ! Can you maybe keep it together for just 10 minutes?
Buddy buys Dad a cringy gift. Elf.
What's that?
Intercom.
Kev films his uncle singing in the shower. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Get out of here, you nosy little pervert, or I'm gonna slap you silly!
The future Father Christmas crassly jests. The Santa Claus.
Here's Neil's mom's number in case.
1-800-SPANK-ME. I know that number.
Number 1, High Times. The Santa Claus. Yep, Tim Allen's turn as the red velvet gift giver sets the bar for bawdy Christmas entertainment. He plays Scott Calvin, a divorcee struggling to be a good dad. Things get complicated when Scott surprises Kris Kringle, who promptly falls off the roof and dies.
Hey, you! What's that? Oh, whoa, whoa!
The dark absurdity continues, with his son Charlie convincing Scott to don the mantle of Father Christmas. Once he picks up the bag of gifts, Scott starts floating away. Here, he utters that immortal callback to a groovier time when he assures his son not to worry because
It's okay, I'm used to it. I lived through the 60s.
This allusion to Scott's psychedelic past isn't for the lads and lasses, but rather Ellen's adult fans. It's as timeless a bit as the winter holiday itself.
We have seen a lot of Christmas movies featured so far, and you've probably picked up on more than a few similarities between them. That's because there are certainly cliches and tropes that the genre leans on. This next list, well, it uncovers the cheesiest ones. Take a look.
You hate Christmas. You're gonna steal it. Saving Christmas is a lousy ending. Way too commercial.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 cheesy Christmas movie cliches.
You want me to go to Snow Falls?
Mm-hmm. It's Christmas Eve. It's not too late. Is it?
Who told you you can eat my cookies?
For this list, we'll be lovingly ribbing on various cliches and tropes that continuously pop up in holiday films. What's your favorite Christmas movie trope? Number 10, Meet Cute.
And the man says to the salesman, I just need bottoms. The woman says, I just need a top. They look at each other, and that's the meet cute.
Often a staple of rom-coms, a meet cute is a scene where the two protagonists meet and bond, typically over an awkward or embarrassing situation.
And I've gone and said shit. Twice. I'm so sorry, sir.
It's fine, it's fine.
Many Christmas movies deal with love over the holidays, which means watching a lot of meet cutes. This can be done in malls, like Jonathan and Sarah meeting over a pair of gloves in Serendipity. Sometimes it's instigated through wacky screwball comedy, like when Claire inadvertently whacks Frank with the door in Scrooged. In The Holiday, Iris not only fumbles with opening the gate to Amanda's place, but also ends up getting something in her eye. Miles gets up close and personal to help her, despite their only knowing each other for a few seconds, and Miles' girlfriend Maggie waiting in the car. Number 9. Work to family conflict.
Don't forget, you're my #1 customer. Liz, look, I didn't mean that.
Christmas movies love to drill home messages about the importance of family, and what better way to do this than with a busy protagonist? So, the main character is typically a workaholic who doesn't have time for their family. And sometimes they're at the mercy of a demanding boss who requires them to work through the holidays.
Look, we're reinventing this brand, and that takes time and dedication across the board. We can't just shut down for a week.
And so, the character realizes what they've been missing at home and decides that family is more important than work, thereby leaving their job in the process. A great example is Elf, as Walter tells his needy boss to shove it and goes to find Buddy with Michael.
Up yours.
Yeah, up yours.
Hobbs! Hobbs! Hobbs, you walked out of here and you're finished at Greenway!
Number 8. The couple ends up together. It's exceedingly rare for a Christmas movie to have a tragic ending. As such, the couple at the heart of the film almost always ends up together, no matter how incompatible their personalities, families, or work lives. The couple always manages to resolve their differences, usually on Christmas Day itself, with some sort of dramatic declaration.
I have something to tell you, and I want to tell it on Christmas, if that's all right, so you can't wait.
Bonus points if they kiss during a beautiful snowfall.
Through the people I have known.
There's almost no sense of dramatic tension in these movies because we all know exactly how they're gonna turn out. But then again, this is Christmas. We expect and love the feel-good atmosphere of the holidays.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Number 7. A grumpy person becomes loving.
You know, Dee and the kids, I promised I'd be home for dinner. It's Christmas Eve, Jack.
Where's that tonight?
Charles Dickens changed Christmas forever in 1843 with the publication of A Christmas Carol. The personal journey of Ebenezer Scrooge has inspired literally countless stories and characters throughout the years, and the motifs Dickens used nearly 200 years ago have become tropes that are still reverberating through pop culture.
I've come to dinner if you will have me. Of course, Uncle. Welcome. Merry Christmas.
We come to Elf again, as Walter Hobbs is essentially a modern-day version of Scrooge.
Your father, well, he's on the naughty list.
The Grinch is another Scrooge-like character, as he eventually changes his Christmas-hating ways and is embraced by the community. And this isn't even touching on the countless Christmas Carol adaptations. It's one of the most important works in English literature, and certainly the most influential for stories relating to Christmas.
Did I forget something, big man?
God bless us, everyone.
Number 6. Holiday baking.
Oh, Howard, excuse me, but your wife's cookies are out of this world. Who told you you can eat my cookies?
It wouldn't be the holidays without some warm, gooey cookies and gingerbread houses.
Are you sure this is a good idea? I'm gonna be giving my first ever attempt at gingerbread to every guest at my wedding reception. And the senator's gonna be there.
It also wouldn't be a Christmas movie without a baking scene, or at least a scene involving cookies. Usually these scenes are used to deliver exposition of some kind, as watching people bake is more fun than watching them talk around a table. Heck, some Hallmark movies are centered entirely around baking, including A Cookie Cutter Christmas and the simply titled Christmas Cookies.
I bet you have had your fair share of Christmas cookies, haven't you?
Oh, I'd say about 1,000 boxes worth, give or take.
There's just something about flour, rolling pins, and baking trays that really gets people in the holiday spirit. Number 5. Christmas needs to be saved. Saving Christmas is a trope as old as time. Okay, at least as old as Christmas.
You hate Christmas. You're gonna steal it. Saving Christmas is a lousy ending. Way too commercial.
There are a few variations of this one, but it all boils down to the same idea. There's the classic Santa can't deliver presents so someone else has to step in trope seen in The Santa Claus. There's the Santa forgot someone trope as seen in Arthur Christmas.
Santa brought me the bike I wanted.
Sometimes Santa's sleigh breaks as seen in Elf. Or he needs help in some other capacity, like in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
That nose. That beautiful, wonderful nose.
Huh?
Rudolph, Christmas is not off, and you're going to lead my team.
Some movies even detail the origin of Santa Claus himself, including Santa Claus is Coming to Town and the Netflix original Klaus. Sometimes it's as simple as making one kid's Christmas extra special, like the raunchy but ultimately sweet Bad Santa. Number 4. Warring Neighbors. Christmas isn't just a time for peace and love, it's also a time for decoration. And decoration tends to bring out the competitive side in people.
I've never seen so many beautiful Christmas lights, Betty Lou.
Well, I'd blow every fuse if I tried to keep up with you, Martha May.
Many Christmas movies deal with warring neighbors in some capacity, either as friendly competition or hostile dispute.
This, however, is new.
Perhaps the best example of this is Deck the Halls, starring Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito as neighbors Buddy and Steve.
If you missed anything, this show is going to be repeated every night on a loop until 4 a.m.
This trope can also be spotted in Jingle All the Way and Christmas Vacation, with the latter starring Seinfeld's Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Clark's neighbor.
Honey, I think I know what's wrong.
This trope is often a good source of comedy, and an especially great source for extravagant Christmas decor.
Christmas has always been a neighborhood thing around here. You know that. Yeah. Everybody decorates.
Number 3. Coming back home to a small town.
You want me to go to Snow Falls?
Mm-hmm. Now, it's my turn to deliver the letters this year, but I think you should go instead.
An especially popular trope seen in Christmas movies is the big shot protagonist from the city returning to their humble hometown for the holidays. Just Friends is perhaps the most obvious example of this, as hotshot music producer Chris Brander goes home and clashes with his family and old school acquaintances.
It's been, 9, 10...
It's 10 years. Yeah.
10 years since he's been home.
This is an especially popular trope for Hallmark and made-for-TV movies, including the Neil Patrick Harris-led The Christmas Blessing. This is also used in 4 Christmases, as Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon are forced to spend Christmas at each of their divorced parents' houses.
If one of these houses gets a little too intense, I think we're going to need an exit strategy.
Oh, yes.
So, like, we're going to need a word that both of us know that means it's time to leave. So what do you think our safe word should be?
Such a good idea. Mistletoe.
Number 2. Rekindling an old flame. If there's one thing better than a meet-cute in movies, it's rekindling with an old flame. Christmas is often associated with forgiveness, and typically this involves giving someone a second chance. See Just Friends again as Chris returns home and falls back in love with his high school crush.
Sorry. Just, like 20 years all at once.
This is another trope that is heavily used in cheesy Hallmark movies. Not that there's anything wrong with a little cheese during the holiday season. Even Seth Rogen-produced comedies utilize this trope, as The Night Before sees Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Ethan getting back together with his ex-girlfriend Diana.
But I'm ready to commit hard. Hard like a wrecking ball.
Heck, even Die Hard, the biggest maybe Christmas movie ever, uses this trope, as John reconciles with his estranged wife Holly. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. A misunderstanding keeps characters apart. This classic trope is equal parts cheesy and incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, I'm mad at you.
I don't think that's fair. I would never do anything to hurt you ever, and you know that.
I know that, but I can't help the fact that I'm still angry at you.
Santa Claus is real. Many Christmas movies contain a very real Santa Claus.
Hey, you! What's that? Oh. Whoa, whoa!
Mistletoe, the classic kissing under the mistletoe.
You a mistletoe? It's lame, whatever, I think it's stupid.
Number 1. The one who hates Christmas.
Stupid cribbing! Stupid prank! I hate Christmas!
In seemingly every single Christmas movie ever made, there's a character who hates Christmas and is very open about sharing that particular bit of information. Think of it this way: how can you tell if someone hates Christmas? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
You're the only person I know who can take a wonderful season like Christmas and turn it into a problem. Maybe Lucy's right. Of all the Charlie Browns in the world, you're the Charlie Browniest.
The reasons always differ, with some hating others' happiness, some hating the stress of the holiday season, some hating the weather, some hating the family obligations, others having even suffered a tragic event around Christmas. Of course, those are just a few examples of a very popular and very prevalent trope.
You don't like Christmas much, do you? Like it? I love it. It's cold, and people stay home and watch television. Ad revenues go up 30%.
Sometimes they get past it and embrace the spirit of the holidays, and sometimes they don't. But that's besides the point.
It's just nice to meet another human who shares my affinity for elf culture.
I'm just trying to get through the holidays.
Get through? Christmas is the greatest day in the whole wide world!
Okay, for our last video today, I thought it was only fitting that we take a look at the best scenes from Christmas movies. You know, the ones that live rent-free in your brain. That's right, here now are the most rewatched scenes in Christmas movies. Enjoy.
Yeah, come on, kid, open up. It's Santa Claus. And it's Elf.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most rewatched scenes in Christmas movies.
I think I should.
10 a.m. Santa's coming to town.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
For this list, we're looking at the funniest, most joyous, and most entertaining scenes from holiday flicks that we cannot stop watching over and over again. What's your favorite Christmas movie scene? Number 10, The Leg Lamp, A Christmas Story.
Do you know what this is? This is a lamp.
This Christmas classic is a timeless work of art. Released in the early 80s and set sometime in the late 30s or early 40s, A Christmas Story transcends time and place with entertaining vignettes on childhood, family, and best of all, Christmas.
Immediately, my feet began to sweat as those two fluffy little bunnies with the blue button eyes stared sappily up at me.
The movie is filled with memorable scenes, including Ralphie and his bunny PJs, but the leg lamp stands above them all. The lamp's arrival is wall-to-wall enjoyment, from the delivery guy's frustration to the old man's hilarious mispronouncing of fragile.
Fragile. It must be Italian.
The reveal of the lamp is equally hilarious. Mixing the bemused shock of seeing a female leg lamp wearing a fishnet stocking, what kind of prize is that? To Mrs. Parker's resentment of her family's enthusiasm.
And I know just the place for it. Right in the middle of our front room window.
We could watch this all day.
Hey, Park, what is that? Don't bother me now, sweet. Can't see I'm busy. Yeah, but what is that? It's a major award.
Number 9, Frank's Speech, Scrooged. Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol seems to be continuously adapted in some form or another. In 1988, it came in the form of Scrooged, a modern retelling that saw Bill Murray as a cranky and self-centered TV executive named Frank Cross.
That's Frank Cruz.
Is he supposed to be in the show?
I am the president of the IMC Network.
After his healing journey with the ghosts, Frank interrupts a live broadcast of A Christmas Carol to expound on his newfound love of life.
You were right about everything, okay?
Despite seeing the touching climax of A Christmas Carol 1,000 times before, Scrooged managed to make it fresh through Bill Murray's typically impassioned performance, a touch of dark humor like Preston kicking his cat in frustration, and a beautiful sentiment about the meaning of Christmas.
You know, it's not too late on Christmas Eve to have fun. You can call people that you haven't seen. You can call a college roommate. You can call, an old army buddy.
Number 8, The Ringing Bell, The Polar Express.
There is the North Pole.
Based on the children's book of the same name, The Polar Express concerns that confusing time in a child's life where they begin to question the existence of Santa. The hero boy is growing older and thus more reflective, resulting in the arrival of the titular Polar Express. In a wonderful bit of symbolism, the boy can't hear the ringing of a reindeer's bell, merely the empty clacking as it hits the ground.
Okay. believe.
However, when he chooses to believe in the existence of Santa, the bell rings to his delight, and in its reflection, he sees Santa arrive. It's a gorgeous scene, and it's enough to make even the most cynical among us shed a tear.
What was that you said?
I believe.
Number 7. The Grinch Saves Christmas. How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast.
Running a tight 25 minutes, How the Grinch Stole Christmas may be the best animated TV special ever produced. Luckily, it had strong foundational material in Dr. Seuss's classic children's story.
And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow.
After stealing the gifts from Whoville, the Grinch hears the residents singing in celebration. They don't need gifts. They're simply happy to be in each other's company. It's a lesson that the Grinch, and hopefully the viewers, take to heart.
Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
It's a beautiful sequence, filled with some gorgeous animation, catchy music, and a message that will always remain timeless.
And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast.
Number 6. Sam runs through the airport. Love Actually.
Look, there she is.
Where?
Over there. Oh no.
It's okay, we'll go to the airport. I know a shortcut.
Many scenes from Love Actually have become classics throughout the years, including the famous cue card sequence where Mark bears his soul to Juliet. But we're suckers for a good climax, and Love Actually delivers one with Sam running through the airport. It's cheesy and certainly a little cliche, but there's nothing wrong with a little cheese around the holiday season.
We're not actually flying.
You can't come through without a boarding pass.
Not even to let the boy say goodbye to the love of his life.
No.
The scene begins in a great way, with Rowan Atkinson's guardian angel-like figure distracting the airport employee and flashing Daniel a look of acknowledgement.
No, I must have left them where I was having a cup of coffee. I'm sorry.
Perhaps the best part of the scene is Craig Armstrong's music and the way it intermingles with the movie's other subplots. Little Thomas Brody Sangster is adorable, and so is this scene.
Joanna. Sam?
Number 5. The One and Only Santa. Miracle on 34th Street.
I have here 3 letters. They're addressed simply Santa Claus. No other address whatsoever. Yet these letters have just now been delivered to Mr. Kringle by bona fide employees of the post office.
An oldie but a goodie, Miracle on 34th Street concerns a department store Santa Claus named Kris Kringle, who is institutionalized for claiming that he is the real Santa and behaving accordingly. A lawyer named Fred Gailey decides to defend him in court with the hope of proving that he is, in fact, Santa Claus. In the movie's climactic sequence, Fred presents mailbags full of Christmas letters and has them dumped on the judge's desk in a hilarious bit of physical comedy. The judge dismisses the case after Fred successfully argues that a branch of the federal government has acknowledged that Kris is Santa. It's a cute and hilarious scene, especially the joyous look on Chris's face and the seemingly endless line of postal workers that file their way into the courtroom.
Therefore, the Post Office Department, a branch of the federal government, recognizes this man, Kris Kringle, to be the one and only Santa Claus.
Number 4. Fried Feline. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
This box is meowing.
Let me see it.
One of the most adored Christmas movies ever made, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation takes the scary concept of a massive family gathering and turns the dial up to 11 for maximum cringe and comedy. And while it contains lots of great slapstick and family-based comedy, perhaps the funniest scene is Clark accidentally frying Bethany's cat.
Aunt Bethany? Does your cat by any chance eat Jell-O?
I don't know about the cat, but I sure am enjoying it.
The shock of it alone, no pun intended, is enough to make audiences laugh in surprise. But the funniest parts are the sounds and details. The cat lets out a darkly hilarious yowl, and Clark and Eddie discover the comical image of a cat silhouette burned into the carpet. Of course, we're not saying we like it when cats die, but as this isn't real, we can still enjoy the joke.
That thing had 9 lives. She just spent them all. Woo!
Number 3, a life-affirming realization. It's a Wonderful Life.
Bert, do you know me? Know you? Huh, you kidding? I've been looking all over town trying to find you.
Another classic from the 40s, It's a Wonderful Life is a perennial Christmas favorite, owing largely to its life-affirming message. The movie concerns the depressed George Bailey. He's visited by his guardian angel Clarence, who shows him what the world would be like if he were not in it.
Don't you understand, George? It's because you were not born.
By the end of his spiritual journey, George confidently declares that he wants to live again in one of cinema's most classic and enduring sequences.
Please! I want to live again! I want to live again! I want to live again.
James Stewart is excellent as always, and the shot of the snow beginning to fall is enough to bring tears to anyone's eyes. It's a wonderful life indeed, which this film is more than happy to remind us.
Kids, Janie! Janie, Tommy! Oh, let me look at you. Oh, I could eat you.
Number 2, Santa! Elf. All right, now let's watch Will Ferrell act like a child. Elf is one of the modern Christmas classics, a reputation that is due in large part to Ferrell's brilliant performance. That genius montage of Buddy exploring New York is enough to make anyone fall in love. Coming from the North Pole, Buddy is well aware that Santa is real. But Wanda isn't, and he's none too happy with Buddy's childish enthusiasm.
Okay, people, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town.
Santa! Oh, my God! Santa here? I know him.
There are so many wonderful aspects to the scene that we don't even know where to start. Of course, there's Buddy's ecstatic yell and Wanda's thinly veiled frustration, but there's also the woman in black who gives a very "this man is crazy" look, as well as Buddy's excitement upon seeing a fellow elf.
Oh, hi. Santa's coming.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Toilet Talk, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Nothing like dumping sewage to get you in the holiday spirit.
Merry Christmas! Dinner was full!
The TV Trick, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. It's like that hilarious scene from the first one, only better.
Hold it right there. This is the concierge, sir. I knew it was you. I could smell you getting off the elevator.
Fred Astaire gives us some words of wisdom. Santa Claus is coming to town. A beautiful speech about the true meaning of Christmas.
Now that you know all about him, you can be darn sure that come snow or high water,
Santa Claus is coming to town.
A New Year's Eve surprise, A Christmas Prince. There's nothing quite like a really cute proposal.
Palace is a lonely place for a king without a queen.
The finale, White Christmas. Santa outfits, song and dance, and a giant tree. What more could you ask for?
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, The Booby Traps, Home Alone.
Be a good little fella now and open the door.
What? 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 What happened?
Get that little... Hello.
What kid didn't watch the booby trap sequence on endless repeat around the holidays? The ending of Home Alone is a remarkable string of slapstick comedy. There's falling down stairs, BB gun shootings, slipping on toy cars, stepping on nails, irons banging into heads, and paint cans flying into faces.
Heads up! Don't worry, Marv. I'll get him for you.
Perhaps the funniest image of all is Harry getting blowtorched and screaming for a solid 5 seconds before deciding to actually do something about it. The booby traps strike the perfect balance between depraved and comedic, just as the sequence itself strikes the perfect balance between kid and adult entertainment.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
Everyone can enjoy this, and everyone does, over and over again.
Hey guys, check this out.
Go back! Go back! Go back! Okay.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this very special look at Christmas movies. Hope you enjoyed all the festive fun as much as I did. I've been Matt from Watch Mojo, wishing you all a very happy holiday season. I'll see you next time.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.